Hello, welcome in, grab yourself a coffee. I thought today that I would go through Hardy's bookshelves and recommend every book that I have read and see how many, even though I'm probably not going to count, of books that we own together, and if our tastes may align. Shall we have a look? So, they have a lot of shelves and they've got more books upstairs and in other, I'm not doing that, I'm just doing these shelves. This is a lot. They've also got stuff on the floor. So, typical of a book owner, but I thought, yes, shall we go through each shelf and see what I would recommend. Without further ado, we are going to start with this one shelf that I know I don't think I've read a lot from. We're starting with this shelf, which, as you can see, the top ones is just Terry Pratchett, and then you have more Terry Pratchett, and then more Terry Pratchett. This is Ross. Never get started on Terry Pratchett, guys. He won't shut up. But this is also some of the stuff that I had no idea Margaret Atwood wrote this book. Okay. I don't know that Margaret Atwood actually wrote much more books. I've read The Handmaid's Tale by her, liked it. I have the Testaments on my audio TBR. Have I started it yet? No. But I'm pretty sure I would not have read hardly any of these. Nights at the Circus, no. Conan Doyle, no. Bernard Cornwell, well, not that one. Huh. But these seem all interesting books. And yet, there's probably stuff that I don't usually read because I mainly read fantasy, and I don't feel like this is fantasy because they have a wild taste in books. I mean, to be fair, I have read more from Terry Pratchett and I didn't like it. I also read Card Magic and didn't like it. So I haven't read Woman in Black, but I'm also going to recommend it because I like the film and I do want to read it. So at some point I will be picking this up. But there is one book on here that I have read. I don't know if they've read. I really recommend this. This is kind of told in second person. It's really showcasing what it was like in Africa in this time. So I don't know if you can. A searing satire set amid the murderous mayhem of Sri Lanka beset by civil war. Yeah, 1990, would like to be gay. The main character is dead and you're following him and the impact around it. And it was really good. I'm glad I read it because this is not something I would usually read, but it was fascinating. This looks fun. Have I read it? No, it's called Gorse. Folklore is alive, so are the beasts. Ew. I'm going to be looking this up later if I don't borrow it. There is Yellow Face in here. I haven't read it and it's in a position where it's going to be difficult for me to get out. So there we go. I've heard stuff about the bell jar, which is down the bottom. Maybe we are going to sink. And this is going to be bad for my knees, but here we are. Yeah, I've heard stuff about the bell jar. I haven't read it. Again, it's not usually my knees. It's not usually my thing. Not read any of that. Grief is Sing with Feathers, not read that. I do kind of want to read it though. Ugh. Blood Meridian, not read that. Not read Square of Seven, not read anything here. Oh my god, this is really bad for my knees. Oh. Not lying, guys, never grow old. Your knees go. Particularly if you're like me and extremely hypermobile, your knees are prone to going anyway. This is more of a shelf that I have read. One of them is really high up, so I don't know if I can reach any of these. I've pulled down the two books I have read. There is technically a third one up there, which is Pride of the Orange Street, which they have in hardback. Let's see if I could just tilt you up. See that there, right? You can pause if you want, I don't care. But I didn't really vibe with that. I also didn't vibe with the Day of One Night either. I know, is that a hot take? I also think the pacing is worse in Day of One Night than it was in Pride of the Orange Street, and I hands down think those books should be split into two duologies rather than writing a series of standalones. It's my opinion. So this is City of Lost Chances, but they don't have, then they've gone straight to Days of Shadowface, which is book 3. They don't have book 2, which is House of Open Wounds, which is my favourite. I haven't read Days of Shadowface yet. It's on my list for soon. So I'm highly enjoying this. I do recommend it. It's not for everybody. It's not one I do on audio either, simply because it's just that little bit, I don't know, you kind of need to really pay attention. And for me, when I'm reading these books and audiobooking, my attention is on work at the same time as this. So I picked up the physical and enjoyed it a lot more. Then Service model, you can do an audio, and the author himself narrates it, and I really, really enjoyed it. This is where a robot killed his owner and can't remember why, and is just going through what happens next. Because everything has a procedure in this bureaucracy of robots, which is entertaining, and it was fun. I enjoyed a lot out of it. I really did enjoy it. The next shelf is literally just Tolkien and more Tolkien. Obviously, I'm going to recommend more Tolkien. It's fucking Tolkien. Tolkien, Dictionary of Sources of Tolkien. I haven't read that, but again, more Tolkien. This was entertaining. I haven't read this. I liked Harper and Justice. Oh, Ink Blood Sister Scribe was fine for a standalone. It was just okay. It's fine. It was alright while I was reading it. I did it as a book club, and most people were like, yeah, it's fine. There was nothing there. I kind of wanted more from it, like more meat from it, but it was fine. Really, really enjoyed Witch King. Like, highly enjoyed Witch King, but because of how it's told, it's depending on on whether or not you'd like it, because it's told similar to kind of like how Beauty and the Ninth is told, where you know nothing and you're struggling to catch up. And so many people are like, but why? You just have to accept these things happen in the world, and you're not going to get an explanation, because these characters are like, oh yeah, it just happens. It's kind of like, we don't say why the rain falls, it just does. It's one of those things. So if something weird happens, like it's one of those, no, you don't think about it, it just happens. So it's kind of like that, and a lot of people struggle with it, but I really, really enjoyed it. I have read All Systems Red, and it was entertaining. Haven't read the others yet. I have read this series. Now, I did not like his Night Angel series. I DNF book 2, bored shitless, but Brent Weeks' Lightbringer things, it was fine. There is fat phobia in it, so do be aware. But the last book was just terrible. I enjoyed it up to that point, but the last book I was like, what? To be fair, there was a big break between me from reading the other books, the last book, because I heard about the last book. I almost wish I had never finished it. It was just, I was like, what is going on? I don't know. It was weird, but read that at your will. I have the exact same arc of this, and not gonna lie, it's I haven't read it because we both went to Galant's, and my friend has read it and was a bit annoyed. It was a bit weird how I think it was like this Hawaiian Pacific slang language translated to page. I don't know if it worked that well, because apparently it sounded very, very similar to kind of, you could stand out the English words. I don't know how to really explain it. That's how she was kind of explaining it to me. So I am going to try it, but also I think it's more YA. And it just doesn't, I don't know if it translated that well to page. I don't know if the audiobook would be better, but I can't speak on this yet. Then, okay, I haven't read this, but I do own it. I do kind of wish I actually had this copy, because the copy I've got is tiny. What I am going to recommend is The Overlaid. I have read The Shadow Casket, but there was something that happened with the particular female character that I was a bit nah. The female characters in this always end up falling for the main character. I don't like it. Apart from like one female character, something happened to her in the Shadow Casket. I'm like, you kidding me? And she was my favourite. But I did entertain it. If you like Lord of the Rings, you like this. There's a creepy section in this book where it's like you are kind of in this dark, old, mysterious place that used to have power that doesn't anymore, but it still has some remnants of that power that people have abandoned and fled, and you have to travel through it. Creepy. Loved it. Favourite section of the book. Dragonbone Chair. I've only read the Dragonbone Chair. I enjoyed the Dragonbone Chair. Considering it was written in the 80s, the women in this actually have agency, considering the time it was written. So, Dad Williams seems like somebody who respects people, and I enjoyed it a lot. It took a while to get into, it took a while to start, but I still highly enjoyed myself. Right, we are down onto the last shelf, which I'm not going to show you. I'm just going to grab the books that I have read. They have a lot of books down there that I want to read, mainly Stephen Fry's Mythos series, Heroes, Troy, Odyssey, that thing. Their sister song down there, Song of the Huntress, I want to read, stuff like this. They have a couple of Madeline Miller. I'm not sure if I'm a Madeline Miller fan, but there we go. I have read The Gospel of Loki. This was so much fun. This was how Loki really should have been. This is not taking the Tom Hiddleston Loki. This is taking the lore Loki, the mischief Loki, how he is as a person. And I loved it. I loved the relationship. I don't know what it is. The stuff that he did, and how people kept blaming him, and then the stuff he tried to sort of correct his stuff, and they blame him again. He's like, oh, I'm the god of mischief, guys. Like this is what I really love about Loki. I really enjoyed this. Now we move to this middle shelf, which I have read quite a lot of these books. Like the top shelf, not so much. There is the Chronicles of Narnia, which I don't know if I can actually get that out. I'm not going to get that out. I can't get it out. It looks like a first edition, so I don't want to break it. Haven't read that. Haven't read Ursula K. Le Guin yet, which is mainly what that is. I do own the same edition of The Sky on Fire that's up there, which is the Inkstone edition. It's lovely. Let me come here. I have not read this yet. I highly enjoyed it. I have read The Grace of Kings. It's down the bottom. I'm not grabbing it out. I'm sorry. And I have read Empire the Vampire. I know they didn't like Empire the Vampire. I did. I really did enjoy it. So I do recommend that. That's what I've read. Then I have read The Lies of Lochmamora. I highly enjoyed it. I've read book 1 and I've read book 2. I'm holding off on book 3 to when the series is finished because it's been so long now I have to reread anyway. But this is a series that I would reread, and you can read book 1 as standalone if that's your thing, because the city is a setting and the city is alive. Is how atmospheric Scott Lynch has written this. It was highly entertaining. And then I don't know if I can call James Logan my buddy. We've met a couple of times, so I'm going to claim it. James Logan. I highly enjoyed this. This is like Indiana Jones cross Lies of Lochmamora, kinda. I don't know what to say about it. He basically, the main character gets his father dies, and he was already like running away from like his mistakes, and he gets told that his father's dead, but there is something his father gives him that he has to go and find the chest and the key, and to do this stuff he has to have other people. It's like a quest thing to get to the thing he wants. And Flea, is it Flea in here? I think it is Flea. There is a character in this, I think it's called Flea, who she meets up with the main character in here, and it's like, yeah, I fucking love this. I love her. I love their duo. They're like the Hound and Arya, but nowhere near as problematic. Obviously, I'm going to recommend this. Obviously, I'm going to recommend The Marvelous Light. I will not stop shutting up about this book. This book is incredible. I adored it. This is romantasy, how it should be written. This is romantasy at its best. If you're fed up with Fourth Wing and ACOTAR, pick this up. This is proper romantasy. This is where the plot and the romance weave simultaneously throughout. There is a 3-book series, couple following, each book following a different couple, but then you get but the plot threads go through, and somebody has discovered that there was a contract for wizards, and somebody wants to claim the contract, have all power, and the main character is trying to stop it. I don't know what to tell you. Plus gay romance, which is, oh, love it. I'm still reading this. I've been reading this for ages. I have like 100 pages left. I just don't know why I haven't picked it back up, but here we are. I do recommend it. I loved it. Then, obviously, all of Game of Thrones, which I highly enjoyed. Like, even for the fact that, you know, if he never wrote another book, I still go back and reread these and still be chasing this high because, oh my god, I loved it. Obviously, I am going to recommend Sons of Darkness. This is like Game of Thrones cross First Law in a retelling of the Indian Madhubala poem. It's entertaining. People might struggle with the writing style. I highly enjoyed it. What is behind is Interview with the Vampire. Oh, another weird Game of Thrones one. That's kind of cool. Let's have a look at this. It's like this is an old paperback. You find so many hidden gems in their shelves. It's not funny. Dragon Rider. This is like Aragon for adults. Absolutely loved it. I love the shit out of this. People don't like it as much, but I had so much fun. Like, this is a series I pick up if I just want something familiar and yet different. Red Promise of Blood. It's right there. I'm not getting that out. I know Laura didn't like it. I think Ross did. Ah, fucking found their bloody... They were going to lend me the Ark, and I spent ages trying to look for it, and I've just found it. That's good. I'm going to ask them about that. Anyway, but yeah, I really did enjoy Promise of Blood. I know Laura didn't, but that's totally fine. Then we come to this other lower shelf, which they have one of my favourite books, which I own its exact same edition. Which is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This was a childhood favourite. It was so atmospheric and I was hooked on this. I don't know what it was, but I was like, because I know a lot of people don't like it, but me, I love it. Absolutely love it. Not read any of them. Me and Ross have both read this. Rockwood Payne is so fucking cool, guys. He's so ace. So we've both read The Dancing Shadows, and it was entertaining. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. Book 2 is coming out, I think, July, and I cannot wait to go back and reread it. I might annotate it, I don't know, but we will see. Not read any of them. Not read any of them. Even though I have read Name of the Wind. I did like it. I do have The Black Hunger on my TBR. And then we come down to the Sun Eater shelf, which I don't like. I really, really don't like. But then the shelf beneath that is just full of hard copies of Stormlight. I want to say these are the US editions. I don't know if they're first. They might be first editions, actually. Knowing then, they probably are. So I do recommend Stormlight. I do recommend. I'm not going to tell you about it because it's there. There is also hardback copies of Mistborn, but I don't know about Mistborn. I don't know. But they also have, which I can't get out, The Jasmine's Throne by Tasha Shuri. I also recommend that. That is fun. That is... You can read it for the romance, but you can also not read it for the romance. I think some people I've seen call it a romantasy. It's not really... But there is gay romance in it, but the forest is alive, the magic system is incredible, and Bukemia, I die for her. Bearing in mind, Bukemia is, you start off with her and she's pregnant with the Lord's son, and she has so much role to play, and she's so just there, and you're like, give me more mothers in fantasy, please. Up here, the John Gwynne shelf. Of course I'm going to recommend John Gwynne. I'm just never not going to recommend John Gwynne. And then we're coming to the lovely editions of Farseer. These are the first print editions of Farseer. Like, I'm not... Stunning. Stunning. I also own those editions because, again, Ross found some for me. And he was like, do you want them? And I was like, yeah. So... I bought them. And then we have, again, more Robin Hobb. Of course I'm going to recommend Robin Hobb. More Robin Hobb. Yes, I'm going to recommend Robin Hobb. Then we come down to this other shelf. Of course I'm going to recommend Spear Cuts Over Water. I fucking loved it. I have read the 5th season. It was fine. I've read it twice. But the thing is, the second time I read it, I liked it more. And then I went, okay, let's try book 2. Exactly the same issue that I had with book 1. So I started it and went, DNF'd it. So I think I'm going to go back again to read it. I might love it. This might be a theme with me and M.K. Jemisin. I don't know. Maybe I'm not smart enough for her. And then I have The Last Shield, but I haven't read it. I have all of that. Then we come to a book I never stopped shutting up about. Will of the Many. Fucking love this shit. This is my Roman Empire, which is ironic because this is like a take on the Roman Empire. Kind of. And then talking of Islington, we have book 3 of the Lycaena trilogy. Yes, I recommend this. This is more old man fantasy than One of the Many Years. It's still good. It's still good. I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I think you should just go in and enjoy it. But I had such a good time. I have not read Brave New World. He has 2 more of the Lycaenias in paperback. I read Northern Wrath. I didn't like it. But not read any more of those. And then we're coming down to Wheel of Time and Stephen King. I don't know, but this is my alarm telling me I need to probably get ready to... I have 5 minutes to have to go to work. We're going to rapid fire for the rest of these. Blood of All Kings. Of course I'm going to recommend this. This is dragon fantasy at its best. And look at this edition. There's a couple of Stephen King, which I have read it and I enjoyed it, weirdly enough, apart from that one chapter. If you know, you know. They have Guy Catherine Kay, not read him. They have Otherworld and The Great Hunt and a couple of other Wheel of Time things. They also have The Principle of Moments, which is in a position where it's going to be difficult for me to get it out because of how their shelves are built, so I'm not going to bother. Laura will also scream about this book, House in Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. This is a cozy with a hug, but with meat to it. I don't know what it is, TJ Klune. He can break down your heart and make you cry, and yet build it up together and then make you cry. In a good way. It's also Somewhere Beyond the Sea, and then we have The Poppy War, which I know Laura has recently read. It does get dark. I love it. I almost want to do a reread of this. I have read Babel. It's a standalone. I enjoyed it. I'm kind of worried, like it was very like, which again I think it had to be, like punching you on the nose on the themes of this book, and it was kind of the only way it was going to go. There was one character that annoyed me, but I think that was kind of intentional, but also not intentional. I don't want to say much more because of spoilers. They also have the same edition as me. This is the Goldsboro edition of Perilous Times. I really enjoyed this. I have no idea if they read it, but I think if they did read it, they would enjoy it. This is Arthurian legends and also a take on climate change. We have now come to the last shelf, and not surprisingly, there's a load of River of London up there by Ben Anarovich, which I like. I enjoyed. I mainly did audio for those, so I did enjoy them. Then we come to First Law. Yeah, of course, I'm going to recommend Joe Abercrombie. I am currently reading The Devil, so I'm counting this because I'm assuming this is going to go on this shelf when I finish reading it. So, voila. I prefer The Devils to anything else I've read by him. I haven't read the standalones. I prefer a little hatred series, The Trouble with Peace, Age of Madness. I prefer that to First Law, but I still enjoyed it, right? I'm not Abercrombie's biggest fan, but I had fun. Then we're coming to this shelf, which I've read The Judas Blossom. I don't think Ross liked The Judas Blossom. It was fine. Book 2 was better. I've also read Book 3. Book 2 was the best. The Tainted Cup, which we both have the same edition, the Inkstone edition. This is becoming a theme. This is Sherlock Holmes but Genta Ben with a murder mystery and leviathans and creepy plants. I love it. I can't wait to get to book 2. Oh, he also has Bookshops and Bone Dust and Ladies and Lattes with this little art card here. I really enjoyed Bookshop and Bone Dust. I wasn't a massive fan of Ladies and Lattes. I did reread it with Travis Baldry narrating it to me, and it was more, I enjoyed it more that way. But Bookshops and Bone Dust I read at the perfect time, and I loved it. It had a bit more meat to it, which is what I wanted with my cozy. Oh, they have the Bone Ships and the Devil Makes 3. I fucking love those two. I might have actually made them buy the Devil Makes 3. Possibly. But absolutely loved it. They have some Ian M. Banks we haven't read, but the Bone Ships is like sea dragons and pirates. I love it. Although book 1 can be a bit rough for a couple of people. My alarm went off, so now I have 2 clips, which is really annoying. I forget it does that. And then I haven't read any of these, but I'm going to very, very soon. And then obviously, if we come down a bit lower, you get to see his Jonathan Strange and Miss Norrell collection. To 9 o'clock. I do recommend Jonathan Strange and Miss Norrell. It's really, really good. They have Amina Al-Sarafi here, which I also do recommend. I've bought The Saint of Bright Doors because of Ross and Laura. Mainly Ross. So take with that what you will. I have the Leviathan Wakes series. I enjoyed book 2. I got up to book 5 and I was like, what is this? So no. Oh look, another Jonathan Strange and Miss Norrell book. Not read any of those. I have read The Final Strife and I did really enjoy it. Book 3 went more down the romantasy side of things that I was hoping for, so I've potentially put that down for now. But book 2, absolutely incredible. And then we have, they're basically their Malazan shelf. Again, I've read Gardens of the Moon, which was entertaining, but I haven't read the rest, so I can't say anything on that yet. I think Laura's read this and liked it. I know the Broken Bindings just did a edition. So that should be coming in the post to me soon. So I don't know if I like it. I haven't read it yet. What else is here? I don't really think there's anything that I've read. There is the Gilda's ones. Oh, A Market of Dreams and Destiny, which I really, really enjoyed. That's like the Goblet Market, but make it gay. The Gilda ones, no, I didn't like it. I think there was a far more interesting side character than the main character. And some of the stuff that, I don't know, I absolutely hated it. Not gonna lie, absolutely hated it for what she's trying to do. But so there we go. I have recommended all the books that are Ross and Laura own that I have read, and I may or may not be borrowing a couple of their books. But if you enjoyed, let me know. If you've seen anything on here that you think I might like, let me know. If you've seen anything that you've read, comment that down below. And if you don't have anything to say, leave a little book emoji in the comment section, and I will happily see you in the next one.